Hello, Gordon here. Hope all is well with you. And today I've gone for a screen sharing video, and I'm looking at one of my quote images, and it's a quote image. That photo, well, let's look at the quote. Isn't it funny how day by day nothing changes, but when we look back, everything is different? And I took that photo July the 31st back in 2016, so it's 3 years and 1 day old as I'm recording this video, that quote image. And this bugger, this bloke with a camera there, he was right in the way. He wasn't going anywhere. He'd plunked himself down, he'd got a good space, plunked himself down, and he wasn't going anywhere. So in the end I decided that, sod him, I would just use him in the photo. And I took that photo down in Dorset, in the southwest of Britain here, at a place called Durdle Door. And if I look sort of, I suppose, to the left of where I'm looking to the right there, as I'm taking the photo, if I look to the left, then I'll see Durdle Door, but it's just a nicer view looking to the right. And in this picture, the photographer, brackets, in my way, close brackets, and myself, we're looking at the setting sun, aren't we? And the sun sets every day. That happens every day. Now you might think that the view of the cliffs and the rocks, that's not going to change much on a day-by-day basis. In fact, if I was down there today, 3 years and a day later, looking at the sunset, it would probably look pretty much the same. But it wouldn't be the same. Isn't it funny how day by day nothing changes, but when we look back, everything is different? By the way, before I delve into the point a little bit better, this is actually, that's one of my quote images, but it's also on my blog, greatgordino.com, and there's an article there. I've written an article about it on the blog, and you can go and look at the blog. While you're there, you can subscribe to the newsletter, so you can get notifications there, and we can remain in contact if, heaven forbid, Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or all the other social media goes down. We're still in contact. And there's the article I wrote at my blog. So, of course, the point that I'm going to make here, you won't be surprised, is that it's the daily actions that we take that add up to make a big change that we will look back and notice. So if we think of ourselves today, the 1st of August 2019, as I'm recording this, if you look back in any of the 5 key areas of life, health, wealth, career, relationships, or lifestyle, you can look back, I don't know, 1 year, 3 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and things will be very different, won't they? Sometimes they'll be a bit different, sometimes they will be massively different, but they will be different. And the reason they're different, that when we look back, it's the view that we get is different to how we think and how we see things today, is because of our actions over that time period. Our actions on a day-by-day basis, our choices on a day-by-day basis, our thought patterns on a day-by-day process. Now, once we accept that, we are unlocking massive power. Because if we accept that the changes between now and the past are down to our choices and our actions, we can then look forward. We can look into the future in those 5 key areas: health, wealth, career, relationships, and lifestyle, and think to ourselves, well, what do we want it to look like in the future? So when we're 3 years in the future, 5 years in the future, 10 years in the future, or dare I say it, 20 years in the future, when we look back to 2019, what change do we want to see? What is the difference that we want to see. Because there will be a difference. How things are today, you might say, well, it's all going to look the same tomorrow. And it's all going to look the same in the next day and the next day. Because that's the whole point I'm making. On a day-by-day basis, things might not look different, but they will be different. And you can direct that difference once you bring intention to the process. Now you might say, well, you're talking nonsense, Gordon, because I'm sitting on the settee watching television today, and I'm going to be sitting on the settee watching television tomorrow. That's not going to make much difference. Well, again, on a day-by-day basis, maybe not. But in 6 months' time, in a year's time, if you spent all those days sitting around watching television and compare it to someone who has taken action towards a goal, whether that's a fitness goal, a career goal, an artistic goal, a relationship goal, whatever that goal may be, if they've taken intentional action every day and you haven't, and you've been sitting around watching television, the difference in their life is going to be shown as directed by them through intention. There will still be, you will look back, and if you say, well, there's no difference, that has been also directed by you, by your actions and your decisions and your choices, i.e. choosing not to act with intention towards a goal. Can you see the point? It is massively, massively powerful. Isn't it funny how day by day nothing changes, but when we look back, everything is different. Time waits for no one. Doesn't wait for you. Time doesn't wait for me. It's up to us what we do with it. Because when we get to that future and we look back today, we will see our choices and our day-by-day actions reflected loud and clear. And it's consistent action, isn't it? Because if you think about these rocks and cliff edges, that's all done by the sea, isn't it? Again, on a day-by-day basis, you might not notice any difference, but over the days, weeks, months, years, decades, centuries, the crashing of the waves makes a difference that we can see now. We can look back to the past. But the waves don't stop crashing. The waves don't crash up against those rocks for a couple of weeks and then stop, do they? They don't crash up for a couple of months or a couple of years and then stop, because you wouldn't have this end result, would you? That is not a couple of days, a couple of weeks, or a couple of months worth of waves crashing. So it's about consistent, repeated, ongoing action. And you're only going to do that, and you're only going to have the motivation to do that if it's done with intention towards a goal that actually means something to you. Not a goal that means something to someone else, not a goal that you think should mean something to you, or a goal that you should pursue whether it means something to you or not because other people tell you to. No, that's not going to last. It's not going to be sustainable. It's got to be a goal that you set with intention because it means something to you. So I hope you like that quote image. I hope you like that message. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment below this video wherever you happen to be seeing the video, and pop over to the blog. I'm going to be revamping the blog as it happens, but you will be able to subscribe to the newsletter there, so you can keep in touch if all social media goes down at some point. So there we go, signing off for now, wishing you as ever health and happiness, and I will speak to you again soon.